Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force.
They've outgrown their age of rebellion, dulled the Empire's edge, defeated Imperial generals and the Pirate Queen's dredge. They've been soldiers and scoundrels, what's there left to be? How about lost acolytes looking for their force and destiny? There's a seer, hermit, investigator, and teacher. Better watch your back or a vibro ring's gonna reach you. Will this team find the light or will darkness win the day? Find out with the heroes of the Hydian Way.
Previously on Heroes of the Hydian Way, the epic quest turned into a gritty day job as Koba, Kesh, Hillary, and Skip found they needed to build a local reputation before pursuing kyber crystals on Cato Nemoidia. Kuro Jiral gave them their first assignment, a scavenger hunt for lost items in the literal underbelly of Jorah, a war-ravaged remnant hanging beneath the immense bridge structure. Once they began their descent, they found that a direct approach was not an option. Broken bridges and missing floors hindered progress, and Hillary's grin faltered in the face of the mist below. Can they pull themselves together and cross the ruins? Hold your breath with them this week as they make sudden movements.
Welcome to Heroes of the Hydian Way. This is a Star Wars actual play podcast, and we're playing in Fantasy Flight Games' Force and Destiny system, using the Chronicles of the Gatekeeper adventure as developed by Tim Cox and Max Brook. This is Act 2, Episode 4, and I'm Ben, the GM for this adventure.
I'm Koba, the Doug Sentinel Investigator, looking for something to practice my new lightsaber skills on. Where did I learn that stuff, you ask? I don't know. It's a secret. It's RPG magic. Anyway, I'm not alone. I don't really have a thing. Go for Guillory.
I'm sorry, go for whom?
Guillory.
I do not know of whom you speak.
Look.
As everybody on the ship knows, my name is High Lord Hillary Aloric of the Flying Alorics. First up his name. It's a whole spiel. I've given it to you many times.
Flying, huh?
Oh. No, we're not talking about the flying right now. I'm keeping my feet very firmly on the ground. Very firmly on the ground.
It's not my fault that BASIC has a rule that if you have a G word in front of a word with a silent G at the beginning, you have to pronounce the silent G. It's just grammar.
No, that's not how this... It's silent.
Does that mean that you should be saying it G Hillary instead?
Make them stop, Kesh.
I don't know that I possess that power.
Kesh has a silent H in her name.
I'm Kesh. The H's are both definitely there. Don't listen to Guillory over there. and I am a Trandoshan Mystic Seer. I don't really do a lot of seeing into future, but it is...
Trando's Han.
This is going to be a thing now, but at least it's got him distracted from all the falling. Hey, Skip, do you have any silent letters in your name?
Well, I don't have any silent letters, although I don't really think that most people really emphasize both P's as much as they probably should, because it's not skip, it's skip, which, there's a difference. But I do have gills, kind of. They're probably sort of residual. No, vestigial? No, what's that word?
Vestigial. Can you breathe underwater?
No.
Residual?
Vestigial.
Vestigial. It's a leftover from changes in the past.
Right. So I'm kind of like Guillory. But, Kalerans aren't officially amphibious.
To learn more about our heroes, we get one to ask another a question. It is now Hillary's turn.
So, Skip.
Mm-hmm.
I note that you said your gills were vestigial, which implies that they don't do a lot of work anymore. But you at the same time seem to really enjoy being in the water.
Mhm.
Have you, by any chance, ever happened across a game called Blitzball? It is done in the water. There's lots of violence, but it's, it's for the kids.
Oh, yeah. They don't really call it blitzball anymore. That's sort of, what old people call it. Everyone else just calls it blitz. But yeah, I've never played it, but I've seen it played before because, there were a couple of times when, some of the best places to go, sifting through the garbage is around, the stadiums and that sort of thing. So I definitely caught a lot of the news about what teams were doing well and all the excitement and stuff, but I never actually got to see any of the matches.
Who's your team? If you were to select one.
Well, I never really had a specific team. I just, whoever had the best color scheme at the time.
Fair enough.
Because there was this one time that I guess I was watching some sort of practice match or something, and I was all like, "Ooh, I really like the ones in the orange and blue outfits." And then this guy punched me because apparently I was on the home turf of the other team, and that was apparently not something you were supposed to say.
Yes, there are always some folk who get a little too heavily into the delineation. Should we survive this, my friend, I will take you to a game. We will have popcorn and a grand time.
All right.
Which means Hillary has now decided that he will survive this mess.
Yeah, Hillary finally has something to live for.
Well, aside from, maybe someday going back to his family, but we'll see if that actually happens.
You are in the tower that you were directed to, but you are now on level 12, and you're needing to get down to level 20.
Is it in our way?
Where the bridge was, the bird is on the other end of where the bridge was. I'm assuming Kesh and Koba is probably still looking out. The air pressure differential causing various things to billow in wind. And the Kreehawk is on the other doorway, just sort of sitting there, picking at things, eyeing you up, thinking, moving meal. It's been a while.
Am I that out of practice? Shakes out wings.
Then down below you hear a high-pitched scream of some variety. Sounds like it's something big.
Like an animal? Or like
No, a animal-ish. Kind of kaiju-ish.
Let's keep moving. And I think I speak for everyone when I say that we don't want to spend any more time down here than we have to.
Yeah. We should also start keeping an eye out for another path back up, since I don't think we will be coming back this way.
Hillary was nodding emphatically to the not spending enough time here, and then was shaking his head emphatically to not going back this way. But at the same time, he's still sitting, knees up to his chest against the wall, kind of waiting for you guys to pick a direction and go.
Koba's going to pick a building and go inside it. Whichever one looks like it has the most lift tubes.
As you enter into this building, you can see the hallways here look a lot more ornate than most of the other places that you've seen. There's the flowing notation of the Trade Federation. It's very smooth in how it looks. It's very almost underwater-ish for some bizarre reason. Duros and Nemoidians don't really have much water in their background, but it's very pooly with how it looks. You can see the flowing rising and falling of details on the side. As they rise up, you've got these round portals that go into different places. You step in, and this also is another landing location. You can see what looks to be a large-ish spiral ramp going up and down. This one, you can see how it comes down. There's a flat part where it lands on the floor and then continues down. The part that's actually on the floor is about a full 90 degrees of a circle, so if you were to be accidentally rolling down this ramp, you'd go shooting out into the landing instead of continuing down for level upon level. Like, little things. And there is a handrail going down where it's in the air.
Mention that casually if you happen to be rolling down this ramp. I feel like that's a thing we should remember.
Everything looks to be plated in some very golden element. It pretty much looks like the handrails are gold, and most of the other more working pieces like rails and that sort of stuff, the posts, are of some silver material. Since this is a landing, you see in front of a fairly large window a conversation pit that has a table in the middle with a small hollow projector. Just off to the side of the ramp going down, you see a large globe. It's a target for a hollow projection, but it's to make the hollow projection look more there. So right now, it looks like the power's not quite there for this part. So it flickers, and mostly it's flickering off, but every now and then it'll flicker on and you'll see an image of Nemoidia. There's something that makes you think that this might even be in a accurate fashion, as if it was from satellites around Nemoidia.
That's really cool.
And it's about 2 caches tall, you figure, for the diameter of the ball.
Well, I suppose they were really working towards looking like they were a purse world. Spared no expense.
In its prime, this planet was pretty impressive, at least places like this.
Could I get a... Yeah, it's a group perception check.
Alright. I've got 2 ranks with a boost.
I can offer a boost because I only have 1 rank.
I have 2 ranks of perception, but 2 cunning.
Yeah.
And you're made of cunning, aren't you, Brandon?
Yeah. I'm made of cunning, and a lot of my talents interface with perception also. So I'm a good perceptor. Doesn't somebody have something that's like a perception aura?
Yes. No, I have heightened awareness. So
you do have something to offer.
Anybody that's not me gets a boost die to your perception or vigilance checks.
Okay, so I'll roll. Ben, how many boosts can I get from group assist? 1 per?
In this case,
like
I'd be
total?
going with 2 and whatever Skip gives.
1, yeah.
The difficulty on this is it is going to be an average check, but because of the howling wind at the still open door, it is going to have a setback tossed in.
Well, I'm keen-eyed, so I remove up to 2 setbacks, in fact, from perception.
Fair.
Because I've got 2 ranks of keen-eyed. So, get wrecked, setbacks. Okay, so I think what that leaves me with for our group check is 2 yellows, 2 greens because of my 2 ranks of perception and 4 cunning. 5 boosts.
Nice.
3 from assists. 1 from my own uncanny senses talent, as long as whatever I'm perceiving isn't like immune to the force. And then 1 from Skip's heightened awareness talent, which I believe is separate from Skip's normal just assist.
Actually, in this case, it is. They're droids.
Okay. Then I have 4 boosts. 2 successes and 6 advantage.
Well, one of those dice tried.
Yeah, one of the purples showed up. The other one saw those boosts and was just like, you know what? I don't even care.
Like, I'm just gonna get canceled. Bunked off for a smoke.
You're able to hear the slow rhythmic sounds of a patrol of battle droids in the building. It sounds like they're on the floor, but this is a pretty big floor. Like, this is a residential building that has suites along the outside of the building, and then it has an inner core where the turbo lifts and all services are, but also it has some form of like common area plus restaurant or small shop on each floor. So it's like, this is supposed to be like the really, really rich sort of place, like really high end, where there's services just right outside. So these floors are just massive, like truly, truly massive. You can hear off that there are some battle droids moving, and it does sound like there's a patrol of them. It sounds like they're getting closer.
All right, how close do they sound now? Do they sound like practically on top of us? Does it sound? Are they like somewhere kind of far away?
It sounds like they're on the floor, but they're still fairly far away. Okay. You've got time to do something.
Sounds like there's a few droids still active here. I'm guessing they'll identify us as, at the very least, security threats.
That's what I was afraid of. Is it enough you think we could take them out?
We may have to. Leaving them alone could be dangerous. Especially considering that we're not exactly a long-ranged group.
Yeah. What if we create some kind of disturbance here and then get ready to ambush them when they arrive?
Makes sense. Maybe we can see if this console will make some noise or knock it out of whatever half-powered cycle it's in.
Yeah.
So maybe I probably should have mentioned something, but I know I left my sniper rifle back on the ship, but I did find this. And pulls up the blaster carb. How do you say that? Carbine or carbine?
It's usually carbine.
Either is acceptable.
Like, it does depend. I don't know which one's correct.
And pulls up the blaster carbine. At least I'm better armed than I was.
All right.
Good.
One of us is long-ranged. Ben, with my 6 advantage, could Koba just identify some good places for the rest of the group to conceal themselves in this little area near the flickering hollow?
You've got 6 advantage, so yeah, you could find a good place by the flickering hollow. I mean, with 6 advantages, that could be enough to start your way down and hope that they don't hear you.
Is the ramp down, like, open to the upper levels?
Yes.
Okay.
You're on level 12. It looks like it goes up and down.
Yeah, and it's like a situation that somebody standing on, say, level 14 could shoot down at level 12.
Up.
Yeah, you could, but it would
whichever direction.
It would be harder than, say, shooting down a stairwell.
Okay.
So this is kind of like a big circular mall tower, and we're on a ramp on the inside, and there's open space, but floors at the same time.
Pretty much, and there are turbo lifts going up and down, like you could try and catch too. At 6 advantage, you could even just say that, yeah, there's going to be a turbo lift there, if you want to try one of those.
So I guess question for the group then, do we want to have a fight, or do we want to just maybe not have a fight?
I'm good either way. Brandon, you are the one who has a lot of shiny new talents, and I know you've been itching for some opportunities to show off some of Koba's combat ability. Do you want to fight?
I land on I kind of want to fight side.
Okay.
But like also there is internal to character reason to try to avoid a fight, so I don't want to like make that decision unilaterally for the group if everybody else is not hyped about fights.
Well, here's another angle where a fight could be interesting. Leslie, you've been highlighting how Hillary is feeling an awful lot of fear here. A fight is also an opportunity for people to get hurt, and droids may not be as easy to reason with. It could also lead to some interesting situations for Hillary, I think.
Meta-wise, totally agree. I'm totally up for the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that the logic behind the fight is we should deal with them while we know where they are, so they cannot get the drop on us.
Yeah, that would be Koba's thinking.
And that way we have a legitimate logical reason, because if we start moving around in here, we don't know what else we're going to trigger, so we might as well take out the threat while we have it.
Yeah.
Hillary is not going to offer any help until something happens at this point.
Okay.
Hillary is with you guys, but he's kind of looking around like, okay, now there's droids, and I'm in this hellacious palace of death trap opulence.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Ren?
I don't want to be in a position of making a decision.
Okay.
It sounds like we're leaning more towards fight anyway, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm content to fight. We haven't had a fight for a while, I feel like.
Yeah, we've
Give me
talked
a
our
hidey
way
hole.
out of most fights.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it
Yeah, I
sounds
don't
like
think
we're
I'm
gonna
gonna be able to
fight
talk
then.
my way out of a battle droid.
Yeah, the droids you'd have to... Yeah.
I mean, all you're gonna get is Roger, Roger in response. So
No, well,
Oh,
if
heck no.
you're Frank, I can be Roger. That works fine.
Oh.
Your name is Guillory.
You did this to yourself.
I would like then, I think, to use the advantages to set us up in an advantageous ambush position in this room.
Couple people in behind some of the stuff around the flickering hollow display, Skip in the conversation pit, and able to draw a bit of a bead that way. Yeah. So everyone's able to start off with cover and...
Can I flip a point for having like a little kiosk or something like those mall ninja kiosks where it's like an actual cart with product on it that I can hide in and or under?
Yeah, I can go with that, sure.
It's a cart.
Well, it's designed to look like a cart to present a sort of affectation of being in a more bohemian shopping environment.
Okay.
So it actually has a cloth tinted top.
But
And
it's like,
there's some
is it like connected
funky-
or is this like a separate thing?
Well, the cloth tinted top would be connected to the cart.
Why I'm more meaning because I was gonna then ask. I was gonna make sure there are some things around here I can throw.
Oh yeah, there's definitely things around here you can throw, and there are overgrown plants.
Okay.
100% okay with it being mobile.
Okay. So if I throw it and then we have a shot of like Hillary, all of a sudden like exposed and panicked, you're fine with that.
So it's like, I
Okay.
also support you not knowing that that's where Hillary is.
Okay. Just making sure. Same page.
All right. Hold on a second. Legitimate. I flipped it, and you're welcome, Ben, because I love you.
Yep. As Ben gets their first dark side point for this episode.
Wahaha. I knew that it was eventually going to happen.
Once everybody is squirreled away somewhere or other, Koba is going to take a look at the computer and see if he can if he can make it make some kind of loud noise or anything like that. If there's any obvious accesses that he can maybe change its display mode to like loud advertising or something.
Timeshare.
A tour of Nemoidia's system. I'm just sort of thinking that, and then it just ramps up in the back.
He just wants something that might attract the droid's attention.
There's definitely something there to have it so that you play facts about Nemoidia, or play facts about Cato Nemoidia. Stuff like that. Because it'd have stuff there for like kids saying, oh yes, on Cato Nemoidia there's 8.5 million people. In the city of Jorah there is blah. And it just rips stuff off of the current census.
Alright. That being done, he's going to fall back behind a shrubbery or something, commit force dice to the offensive and defensive abilities of Sense, and wait.
At that quantity, it's a column of battle droids walking through. And I'm going to go with, each one of you is able to do a single action before we get into structured time. So it comes up with there's 4 a small break, 4 a small break, essentially 3 minion groups.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Who wants to take the first action then?
Do we want to roll initiative?
The 4 of you get to do an action, and then we'll roll initiative.
All right.
Because if a group gets taken out, I'm not wanting to roll initiative for them.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm fine going first, so...
This is big enough, I'd put them at medium range.
Okay.
Okay.
We can see them?
Yeah, you can see them. They're coming out medium range. They're B1s. They're somewhat oblivious. Especially considering all of you are hidden in behind like the information kiosk there, the perfume kiosk, or the conversation pit. Everyone's hidden away so it's not obvious. They come around, they're continuing their patrol. They're starting to angle slightly towards the ramp to go down.
All right. Do they pay any attention to the computer? Do they take any notice that it's doing something different than what it was doing?
Hey, what's that? Why is it doing that? And the group, it's kind of on their way anyway, going to the ramp down, but they break out of the 2 columns of 6. They break into a bit more of a relaxed grouping. Like, they're still 4, 4, and 4, but now they're more scattered around. And the first group is getting closer to it. It's like, oh no, has anyone seen this happen before? Why is it so loud? They're starting to investigate. Where's the off button?
I love them so much.
Koba will tumble out of his cover, say, I've got your off button right here, and throw a vibro-rang at it.
All right. That is kind of cool. At which, in that case, for that group, it would be at short range.
Okay.
And, yeah, they're battle droids. It's not like they have defense.
Yeah.
They barely have stats.
We've got a lot of light side points, so I will flip one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I got 1 success. So that vibro-rang whips through the air and hits for 5 damage, pierce 2.
That sticks in the upper chest of one of them, and it's like, hey, what's that? That wasn't there. And then the next of you who want to go.
Well, I would like to spend 2 strain to take an additional maneuver at the end.
Oh, absolutely.
As now that the vibro-rang has been thrown, Koba reaches into his vest and pulls out and ignites his training saber. Did we determine what color these were?
I don't think so.
No.
What color is it, Brandon?
Well, I feel like it shouldn't be the color I ultimately want, because that means I can aspire to a different lightsaber.
It's probably got to be either blue or green to start,
probably
right?
blue or green. So I'm going to go with
Oh.
green.
Okay.
I'm going to say Koba's training saber's green.
Well, apparently the walls around here are in a nice soft eggshell blue.
Yeah.
So that the green really pops against it.
Now it really has kind of an oceanic feel because you've got the ripples of color
Yeah.
splashing onto the baby blue walls.
I know what I want to do.
Yeah, I'm done now.
I got nothing.
I'm going to shake things up a little bit, only a little bit. As Cash switches her staff to her cybernetic arm, it's going to pop up and stretch out her hand and is going to make a pulling motion back towards her as Ben, I want to try to use move, but I'm going to see if I can grab some number of blasters from these droids out of their grasps.
Okay.
I do have that control, by the way.
That did cross my mind. Aren't we all glad that these are not assassin droids?
Yes.
I mean, yes.
I don't know. That would be cool.
I say yes, but I don't know why you bring it up.
The B-1s only have blaster rifles. But no, absolutely.
Oh.
How does... Okay, this is where I'm going to something I actually haven't seen done before. So how does this work if you're pulling, say, a weapon from somebody's grasp? Is that just a move power check? Do I not need any subsequent skill? Or...
I believe it's just a move power check.
Yeah,
as I
it
recall.
sounds like, and I've handled it in the past, is just a move power check.
Okay. I still just lay down, I guess, an expectation of mine. I would expect if these were more, say, a Nemesis style character, where that would not work to the same degree or would require.
If it was against a Nemesis, they'd be trying to grip it or something like that. Yes.
Okay. All right, just making sure. Same page. Oh no, that's not good.
So the question is, do you?
All right, Cash still currently has 1 force die committed to her brawn. I haven't released it yet for reasons. So I rolled my 2 remaining force dice and came up with 2 dark side pips. What I think happens here is Cash reaches out to try to grab their blasters. And I think as she was preparing to do that, there's a moment of that aggression And for whatever reason for the moment, she kind of just like lets go both of that anger and of her telekinetic grip and lets it fall slack for the moment as nothing happens. She'll resume cover.
Okay.
I got other rounds. I'm not done yet. I mean, I am for this round, but...
So then brings us to what is Skip Up doing and Hillary.
I vote that Skip goes first.
How many are left for me to try to shoot?
12.
Oh,
Yep, we have failed to take out any of them so far. So, all you Skip. Time to be our hero.
All right. Skip is going to pull out this clunky old blaster carbine. Give it one more little kind of hope this works kind of shake, and aim at the one that looks the most menacing, which is a judgment call that Skip makes, and so it's just totally random.
I mean, that's fair. I'm assuming onto the group that's in front.
What is my difficulty to shoot one of these good boys?
If you're going for the front group, which is what we had assumed, that would be short range from the conversation pit.
Oh, so this thing I have is medium, so I was gonna... Okay. Alright, then I suppose I'm also aiming.
That's good, because I actually wrote aim, even before you did that. I was prescient.
Well, I mean, the aiming was the shake and focus. I just need to actually...
Who has foresight now, Christine?
Type the B. It's definitely, shorter, squatter, and probably, clunkier than what Skip is used to shooting.
Also louder.
Well, Skip won't know that until...
Skip's about to find out.
I'm sorry, you told me the difficulty, and then we talked about the gun.
It's 1 purple.
Okay. So I am rolling yellow, yellow, green, blue, purple. And Skip has procured themselves 2 successes and 3 advantage. Wow, I like this gun already. As the blast of it, doesn't scare Skip, but definitely not expected. But that is, okay, that's 10 damage, and with 3 advantage, that means I get a crit, right? But do you...
You can, yes, absolutely. Also, it's 11.
Oh, gosh. 11?
Because base 9 plus 2.
I've been doing the math wrong forever. I thought for some reason I took the first success is to get that base 9, and then everyone after that.
Fair, and I can understand how you read that.
Whoops.
But, yep, no, you get
Okay. 11.
base damage plus every success.
As
Thanks.
accidental nerfing goes, you didn't do too badly.
Yeah,
Neat.
Considering how obscene damage your air rifle does anyway.
Huh? It's true.
So that's 11. When is it? All right, and then a crit.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever crit before, so hello, help me please. How
Okay.
crit?
When you're attacking a minion group, a crit does a minion group's worth of wounds.
Oh, okay.
Past soak. You have to hit, and then if you get past soak and you crit, it does a minion group worth. So you automatically take out 1.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
I run a weird or a variant of it. If you can say you got 6 advantage, you'd be able to take out another minion group. But as it is,
Oh, that's perfect. Yes, cool. All right, so Skip just blasts one of them, but definitely looks a little shocked themselves from how loud this is, how unused to this sort of gun.
this is somewhat of a rapid fire. I'd go with, technically it would be a semi-automatic, but Skip is there shooting away. And Skip actually takes out 3. Would take out the one that had been hit by the vibro-ring, and also 2 others with damage afterwards plus crit. And then leaves one of them standing there. Goes, get them! Now it's initiative. Oh, sorry. What's Hillary doing? My bad. That is my bad. I forgot.
Okay, so set the scene. We've got 3 sets of 4. Had 3 sets of 4.
Yeah, now we've got one that is a singular battle droid with... Actually, none of these have any paint markings that they're other kinds. So yeah, they're just straight battle droids. There's one that's standing at short range to Koba, and then back a bit, you've got 2 groups of 4.
Okay, so the audience heard Ben reference a perfume cart. That is where I decided that I was at a perfume cart, because I figured it's very nicely appointed. It was not something that would have been upturned in the mayhem, because who's taking perfume as they run for their lives? So it's still got all its little displays. They're a little dusty and gross. But one of the displays it has is a vase with fake flowers, and the bottom half of the vase is full of marbles to keep it weighted. I would like to take said vase and hump chuck it at the oncoming battle droids to create a slightly awkward terrain situation, because they're going to be skidding, basically.
All right, that's cool. Can I get a easy range light?
You may.
So that is a 1 purple range light from you.
Y'all mind if I go ahead and take a light side point for that?
Go
Do
for
it.
it.
It's silly, but... Bam. You're welcome, Ben. Have more. Since it's now 2 light to 3 dark. May I aim?
Yeah, I'll totally go with that. Sure.
They're coming in, and Hillary just kind of appears out of nowhere, just hops up, grabs it, and just overhands it with 3 success and 1 advantage.
Well, how does this look? Like, as you huck it out?
It's literally a 2-hand over the head, kind of like you're doing a throw-in for soccer.
Okay.
And it's a standard kind of wider bottom vase, but it is in fact like crystal, because this is a very classy establishment. And so it flies over and it crashes to the ground, shattering in every which way, with its impetus all being toward the droids, and just these decorative marbles just go full on Home Alone all over the hard floor that they're walking on.
Awesome. The net effect mechanically is now those 2 groups are on difficult terrain. So that if they move, they've got to pick their way through. Or also creates the environmental thing of threats, and that could cause them to more easily slip and fall.
Can my single advantage be that the base of the vase, as it hits the ground, it shatters, but a larger portion like bounces up and takes out or crashes into the knee of one of the leading droids, so there will be a setback? Or is that asking too much?
No, I can go with that.
Okay, cool.
One of the 2 big groups would have a setback. Sure.
So it was nothing. Hillary pops up, grabs it, chucks it, and is disappeared again. Back on the floor. And now it's initiatives. I guess this would be cool.
For you, it would be cool. For them, it is going to be vigilance.
Oh, I do have something going on with this. I forget.
Okay, so I was drawing myself a little battleground map for my own brain.
Fair.
Which role was it? Cool or
It'll be cool
vigilance?
for y'all.
I am very cool, right?
Okay, so I'm gonna
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna do this thing now. If everybody else is done.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So in which case, then I will spend the light side pip to add us automatic success to whatever I first do this round, thanks to Ward's foresight.
Ooh,
Nice. So our initiative order is 3 PCs, 1 NPC, the last PC, and then 2 more NPCs. Because apparently the NPCs like rolling blank dice. They're B1s, they aren't trained.
Yeah. Okay, so who wants to go first?
So Hillary just went. I feel like
I don't mind being later in this because I want them to get closer. You have mostly wiped out the closest minion group, so I actually wouldn't mind if another one had a chance to approach.
I feel like based on the flavor of my saying that Skip was a little taken aback by how loud this gun was, that maybe they wouldn't be super quick on the uptake.
Koba will go first.
Okay.
Yay.
So how far is the
So
script
there's
cover?
a individual at short range Q. There's the one battle droid, and at I go with still medium range, the other two sets of battle droids.
Okay. Koba's just going to close the gap to the lone battle droid and finish him off with his lightsaber.
All right.
Because Koba uses Xian technique, you get to roll lightsaber with cunning instead of brawn,
Nice.
Good deal for you.
which is pretty good. Xian is a very, aggressive form mixed with counterattacks and stuff, but against a battle droid, it's probably mostly just an aggressive form. At least until it starts shooting at me. So I'm just gonna give it a roll. Standard melee difficulty of 2 purples.
Yep.
Anything else, Ben, out of the ordinary?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay. One failure,
First lightsaber roll.
2 advantage, and 1 triumph.
That is kind of awesome.
Yeah. So Koba, this is literally the first time he's used his lightsaber in an actual fight. So he's getting used to sort of the heft of it, especially with the blade not having any mass.
That having heft.
It's a little weird. And so perhaps he's a bit overzealous, flipping the blade around towards the battle droid and doesn't actually find purchase or overshoots. So for the 2 advantage, I'm actually just going to heal strain with that because I'm going to need my strain in a sec. And as Koba skids across the floor, sort of on the wrong side of the battle droid and realizes he's overshot a bit, he looks over at the other droids that haven't closed yet, gives his lightsaber a bit of a flourish and kind of, in sort of a come get me kind of motion. So I would like the triumph to accomplish sort of drawing some fire.
Okay.
Because, spoilers, I have reflect and I want to use it.
That is absolutely a thing that can happen.
But that's it for me, turn-wise.
Ren, if you still want to delay, I can go ahead and go next.
I'm happy to go. You can go. I don't care. Totally fine with me. Whatever.
Okay. So, I guess to start off with, Cash is going to use a maneuver to close over where Koba and the remaining battle droid are.
Okay.
And with my action, I'm going to try to smack it with my staff. And spoilers, after I'm done attempting this, Mr. Hit, I'm not done with my turn yet, because I'm going to use some special stuff.
Fair.
I currently have my brawn increased, so I'm currently looking at a yellow and 3 green versus just standard 2 purple,
Okay.
I think. Okay.
Yep.
Nope. Apparently we cannot hit droids. This is impossible.
I'm just sort of thinking that this droid is just so gobsmacked that there's combat going on. It's just sort of trying to dance around like where its compadres fell. It's leaving very little on the ground, and now it's just sort of dancing from foot to foot, trying, sorry, oops, and trying not to step on them
Okay.
as everyone's trying to hit at it, and it's just accidentally moving out of the way.
Okay, so it's jar-jarring the whole situation.
Oh no.
I was more going with Rogering, but yes.
Okay. Still haven't watched that show. Really should.
Fumbling. One way or the other. It's fumbling.
Purely narrative movement. Seeing what the stance Koba is starting to take, Cash will move behind him, thus allowing him to still have the saber up, kind of acting as a shield for both of them. And then I need some range bands here, Ben. How far away is the perfume cart, and how far away is the next group of battle droids?
Perfume cart is short range. The next group of battle droids is medium to you, short range to the cart.
Short range to the cart.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
figuring that the cart is a little bit closer. Well, it's got to be short range because Hillary was able to throw the vase at them, and that can only go short range.
Okay, so now here's where I am double checking move stuff. So I can pick up an object within short range and move it to short range. So even though I'm medium range to the droids, can I move the cart to the droids as short range?
That sounds right.
So then I'm going to try to lift up that cart. Oh, sorry. How I'm doing this, let me go into that. That was like, oh, Christine's taking 2 actions. She's cheating. I'm making use of the Force as my ally, which is once per session. I can take 2 strain to perform a force power action as a maneuver. So I'm going to take 4 strain for this, since it's also my second maneuver of the turn. And I will release that held force, a committed force die as I go to do this.
All right.
Okay. They're just short range. Do they have any other difficulty, defense, or anything like that?
No, they got no defense.
All right.
And I'm liking this enough that I'm wanting to see it succeed.
Okay, so it was 2 yellow and 2 green for my discipline check versus their 1 purple for the range. And I rolled 2 dark side pips and 2 light side pips, as well as 4 successes and 2 advantages. I am going to spend... what's the silhouette of the cart?
The silhouette of the cart is silhouette 1.
Then I will spend 1 light side pip to start move, the second one to activate strength to pick up the cart. And since it's only short range, I don't need anything more than that. So I'm going to be satisfied there. Since it's a silhouette 1, I believe the damage starts at 10. So plus my 4 successes, we're looking at 14 damage. Yeah, it's damage equal to 10 times silhouette.
Night.
Mm-hmm.
Move can be disgusting, as I'm learning at least. It can be a little bit finicky too, for which I apologize.
No need. Okay, so this is going to be one group that gets. So you pick up the perfume cart and throw it, following the vase from it, and in this case, you have it come crashing down on 2 of the droids, as the other 2 are just out of the way of it. So it comes down crushing 2 of the droids.
And then there's a moment of double take as you're like, ooh, thing to throw, grab, hurl. And then you look back and you see Hillary ducked in a little ball, hiding behind nothing.
Sorry.
He looks around. What just happened?
Cash tries to shrink down a little bit further behind Koba. And that's me.
You pull your head in slightly and we could just see your eyes over the top of the scarf.
I don't know what happened.
Does that mean that you want to do something now, Leslie, or should
no,
I?
You.
Go?
You
Okay.
go.
Skip is going to kind of shake off the surprise at how this new gun operates and take aim at the one that is left sort of in front of them from that first group that they took out, just to clean up.
My one thing about that is that it's currently engaged with Koba.
Oh, shoot.
So
Okay.
it would be slightly more difficult to shoot.
Don't worry
Okay.
about it. Go for it.
No. If
Slightly
Koba's,
more interesting to
if
shoot.
Koba's working on that one, and
Also, technically, Cash is
He's-
also engaged. I just moved behind Koba narratively,
Yeah.
so
okay.
I mean, he's
They
not
both
really
missed
working on
it.
that one.
Then, according to my map, the little guy is in front of Koba. There's the 2 groups of 4. One of the groups of 4 just got smashed with the cart, so I'm going to take aim at the other group.
All right.
So, yes. Skip's going to just sort of brace their elbow on their hip to try to get this shot in. It's awkward looking because it's a very different sort of gun than Skip is used to.
It's got to sit really different too.
Yes, exactly.
because
Yeah, it has no stock.
Yeah, it's just weird. So these guys are at a slightly further away range. Does that make a difference? in terms of
Yeah,
the
it
difference?
is 2 purple to you.
Then I'm rolling. Yellow, green, blue, purple. And I'm getting 1 success and 1 advantage. So that means I do 10 with the new math that I know how to do now properly. Now.
Yeah, as you're plunking away with the shots, a bit more controlled this time, but a little less explosive, and no one had been working on them yet. So, yes, that takes out one of them and sort of wings another one.
All right. Then that's my whole everything.
From starting at a group of 4, 4, and 4, we're now down to 1, 2, and 3. And I'm thinking that the one that is close, yeah, I might as well. I'm only going to get to use it like this time. So the singular battle droid is like, hey, you shouldn't have one of those. And we'll take a step back because it is the only one of the battle droids that doesn't have the little marbles around him. And take this step back, takes their E5, which is always out, and shoots at Koba. Because, well, Koba's there with one of those glowy things that B1s are programmed to shoot.
I'm going to try to help Brandon out a little bit here. I'm going to sense an advantage and pass 2 setback dice onto this droid. Because you need threat, right, Brandon?
No. Right now
No,
I
you
don't. Right now I can't do anything with threat.
Oh, I thought you do. You need threat to reflect.
Oh, I don't have that yet.
Oh.
He's cool.
That's
but he's
that's
not
improved
cool
reflect.
yet.
Well, never
Yeah.
mind. Do you want me to retract that? That way I don't hurt his chances of shooting you?
I mean, I don't want to get shot because reflect is still, reduced damage after it happens. But I do have my point committed, one of my force points committed to sense. So he is going to be upgrading the difficulty of this check twice.
Since they're battle droids, seriously, twice? Okay, fine.
Yeah,
and 2 setback dice now.
I went all the way down that chunk of sense.
Yep.
I can only do that twice per round.
Only twice per round.
Only
Gotcha.
twice per round, correct. You just aren't going to be able to hit me, Ben. I'm sorry. Like, ever again.
You think
And when
so?
you do, I'm just going to reflect it.
No.
Sure.
That's when Ben has to hit you with the lightsaber. Can't reflect that.
I mean,
Showed up for you.
you're able to dance out of the way because using my 1 yellow, 1 green versus the red purple that it is, the final result is 2 threat.
Okay, so that's probably Koba kind of leading the battle droid a bit and getting it to point where Koba wants it to point.
Mm-hmm.
And then skirt out of the way of the blaster bolt with supernatural quickness, as if he could kind of feel it coming.
Sounds about right.
Is this the droid with the vibro ring lodged in it?
No, I'm figuring
Okay.
that droid had fallen over and is now pretty much at Koba's feet.
All right. With 2 threat, could I, as the droid takes the shot, just slice at its blaster a little bit and damage it or something?
Yeah, I could go with that. Sure.
So it's just like a the minor damage level or something.
Yeah.
As the tip of Koba's lightsaber just sort of nicks some part of it. Okay.
All right, so that brings us around to Hillary.
Okay. Well, not only is my cover gone, but so is my source of projectiles.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yes, that's very kind.
So now you need to throw a flint onto those shiny pearlescent things so that you create a spark and light on all the perfume.
Yeah, I was definitely rolling for source of flame. Is there, by any chance, another cart that could potentially be for incense? I'll light side it.
That does feel like it should be a light side, but yeah, I'll go with it. I like it.
Sorry.
I really do like it. It's just,
Sorry,
it feels
folks.
like it's big enough that it is something that should be a light side as opposed to just yes. I'm down with that, absolutely.
So, after Kesh uncovered him, Hillary, was crouched with his hands over his head, like literally looks like a little blue ball in a tailcoat with a little tiny Lothcat stuffed head kind of peeking out from his chest. He looks around frantically, sees another cart, and sees that it's designed, it's for house smells instead of person smells. So he, instead of actually like standing up, he kind of lunges forward and does a little roll and then pops up and swipes an incense holder. And I would like to ignite it and throw it toward the cart
All
of
right.
perfume.
So that sounds like spend 2 strain and do the...
Okay.
Mechanically, it's get over to it, which is moving short range, and then pick it up.
Maneuver, draw,
Yeah,
throw,
and then
basically.
action. So, yeah, no aiming this time. But yes, totally.
No aiming. 1 purple, 2 purple?
It is going to be 1 purple.
All right. So, dodge, roll, and chuck. Bam! Literally.
Well, more of a foof.
So, Hillary grabs the thing. It looks like a little stretching loth cat. You know how they have to be on an angle to kind of burn properly? You nestle it. The base goes in the back of the loth cat's head, and it kind of follows up the angle of the back. And so he hits the thing that sparks that will heat the base, throws it, and as it lands, the head breaks off because it's not designed for impact. And there's a little spark that hits some of the shattered perfume bottles, which, having stagnated for as long as they have, smell atrocious, but have lots of very convenient fumes.
Yep.
And so there is not so much a ball of flame as that kind of invisible whoom that I don't know how mechanically Ben wants to make this affect the droids.
Then the question is, how much damage should that do?
I'm actually okay with it not doing much in the way of damage, but maybe doing knockback and they're both prone, or something that deeply inconveniences them, because I respect that these are technically battle droids, so they should be able to take some concussion.
The way I'm now envisioning this is, it's not so much the droids that you hit, it's the perfume cart that you hit.
Okay.
And it hits... There's the 2 droids that were there. One is slightly damaged from the impact. The other one was 4-8, thankfully not. And then they go flying backwards. This whole... their patrol path, and that is such that it actually sends them... They hit the door of the turbo lift and get sort of their bell rungs up against that. They're still sort of on their feet, but they look to be pretty concussed, one might say.
Disoriented?
Yeah. Like, as much as those droids ever can, but yeah.
They look slightly worse than normal.
Yes. Alright. So that is Hillary gone, which then brings us to the 2 minion groups of battle droids. They're both at medium range. One, I'm tossing in a couple setback because they did just get blown away, almost literally. Okay, I'm going to go with the 3. Koba has spent a triumph to draw attention. Koba is holding up a lightsaber or a lightsaber equivalent device. And also... Oh wait, these things don't have autofire, so I can't hit Cash. Oh well.
Good.
Also, they're not force wielders, so it doesn't matter if I spend a dark side point. This is the group of 3 that Skip shot at the second time around, took out 1, and damaged another. That is shooting at Koba, because Koba seems to be the bigger threat at the moment. At least according to their internal logic.
Yep.
Get the Jedi!
And I'll use the second defensive use of sense this round.
I was figuring. So that
2
would
upgrades.
be 2 red.
I think Hillary
against-
has already offended everyone's senses with the rotten incense.
Well, on the plus side, exploding the fumes should make them dissipate faster.
Comes with 1 success and 1 triumph. Well, someone had to get hit for something.
Yeah.
So that does 10 damage, and... Well, let's see how the reflect and damage stuff happens while I think about the triumph.
Sure. I suspect you'll probably get at least a little bit of damage through. So what's the total damage currently?
Total damage is 10 raw.
Okay. Koba, following the Force, swings his lightsaber blade into the path of some of the blaster bolts and against all odds, catches a few of them, diverting them to just sort of like harmlessly ping off the ground or the walls or something, though several still kind of get past his defenses. So I'm going to reflect I only have one rank in reflect right now, so that's suffer 3 strain to reduce the damage by 3, essentially.
Yeah. Transmute wound into strain.
Yep. Koba's soak is 3, so that will reduce 3 more. So I'm looking at 4 damages getting through as wounds.
Just figuring as much.
Do it. Crit me.
This is where I'm torn. As much as I do like the idea of critting you, especially off of that, I'm more liking the idea of using a variation of causing you to drop the weapon.
Right.
That way you have to go find it. And this also somewhat gets my other idea for next episode going. So, in the shooting, you're able to deflect some of the shots. You're only taking 4 wounds from it. But what happens is they shoot in such a way that it causes the handle to buck in your hand, or foot, as the case may be. It causes it to fly out, and it stays on for about 5-10 seconds, however much time it takes to get up high enough, and it destroys the repulsor lift generator for the sphere and causes it to drop down next to you.
No.
It starts it just sort of rocking. It's not moving anywhere, but it now is free of the ceiling and whatever was holding it in place.
Suddenly, a comment that you made in the chat comes back to me.
Oh, man. Training sabers, right? They cut things at the speed of plot. But this is cool.
Plot is a deadly force.
All right, and that's that group as they start trying to edge their way out.
All right, and what's the last group doing?
Because there's fire like, oh no, fire, fire, fire. Quick, get the extinguisher. At that point, I am thinking that, they're right by the elevators. A normal place for extinguishers is by a elevator.
Right under the sign that says, don't use the elevators if there's a fire.
So I'm thinking that they're going to drop their blaster rifles, smash and pick up the fire extinguisher, and then try and use the fire extinguisher on the fire.
Ben, stop it.
Oh my goodness,
What?
Ben, that was beautiful.
All right, so we've got these 2 battle droids. They've reached down, picked out these fire extinguishers. They no longer have their blaster rifles, but they're not moving because, well, their entire body's been shaken up. And they've got the fire extinguishers. They figure out the exact arc that needs to happen. It's like, hey, put out the flames. And they just start spraying exactly as you're supposed to, like starting at the close edge and walking it back and forth over the fire. The 2 of them take it slowly and efficiently. I'm rolling a range light versus a short range, and they got 2 successes and a triumph. So what I'm kind of thinking happens with that is, with the successes, they put out the fire. But I'm thinking with the triumph that there's enough pressure to the fire extinguisher that they're able to move the little marbles out away from the other battle droids, so that the floor is no longer that hazardous to them.
I'm not even upset.
That brings us to the end of the round. We've still got 1 battle droid that is up at short range to Kesh and Koba. We've got Hillary in behind a incense cart. We have Skip sunk in, sniping away from the conversation pit. And we have a pair of battle droids with fire extinguishers that are spent. And we've got a group of 3 battle droids with their blasters out that have recently taken a shot at Koba. And that puts us at the end of round 1 and the end of this episode.
Oh.
Da, 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 dramatic chorus.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Heroes of the Hydian Way. You can find show updates on Twitter at The Hydian Way, and you can find me, Ben, on Twitter at Tuteriumice.
I'm on Twitter at Blue of the Ken. And you can find my Star Trek actual play, Endeavor Through the Maelstrom, at Endeavor Show, where Christine also is.
I am on Twitter at LesletGS. It is very exciting.
I can be found on Twitter at 12th Night. That's 12th and Night with a K.
And I am on Twitter at Atomic Firebird, or you can sometimes find me on Twitch at Make Believe Live.
We are all at thehydianway.com, where you can find more episodes.
You can find more episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Plus, you can help us out by rating, reviewing, and subscribing.
We are also on Facebook as The Hydian Way, and you can holocom us some clever ideas about fire extinguishers at heroes@thehydianway.com.
If you like what we do and you want to support the show, you can find us at patreon.com/thehydianway.
Or you can send the team some caff at ko-fi.com/thehydianway.
Dee-diddy.
Oh, so many DDDs. Okay.
What? We never DDD.
I don't have any silent letters, but I kind of have, sorry, I need my stupid joke made me laugh before I could finish it.
Those are the best jokes.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, they're really not.
That's dumb.
Hmm.
They're frog people.
Yeah.
Well, not
Anyway.
officially.
Not officially.
Hands up.
Not like that's going to
Gotcha.
turn into a plot point at some point, but yeah. Anyway.
I'm sorry. I've been completely derailed.
This is a problem.
So, Skip.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Okay, stop.
Yeah, see, you heard
Rewind.
the difference.
So, Skip. I'm gonna keep trying to put these. So, my friend.
It never ends.
So then brings us to what is Skip Up doing and Hillary.
I vote that Skip goes first.
Okay, none of you were paying attention when I pronounced it, because I didn't say skip up. I just said skip. It's hard.
I'm sorry, how do you say my name?
How do you say your name?
I dare say it's Hillary Aloric.
Good for you.
Right, look,
That's what I-
Kahesh is
that's what I
giving you an
thought, Skip.
opening.
Bloopers. Okay.
I thought my name was Frank. So confused.
Roger, Roger.
Smash and pick up the fire extinguisher and then try and use the fire extinguisher on the fire to make this entirely, truly a hero's firefight.
Except we're not the ones using it. I love it. I love it so much.
The heroes caused the fire.
Yeah, but we're not using the suppression system.
Actually, it's Leslie who caused the fire. Like, let's be, like...
Well,
I mean, she's done that kind of thing before. It's just we had a season. She had a season break, and I took over.
I'm not gonna argue the point. I was present.
There was several times where Billy started the fire.
Or threw things into the...
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
Never mind. Fair point.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine? Oh my gosh, Hillary meeting Billy as she's throwing some bad guy into the flame. And Hillary's just like,